Alrighty, welcome everyone. Sorry about that if you got a notification for a first session and attempt. Had some connection issues, so just wanted to kind of make sure things were on point before I really continued with the live meditation, considering it's happened before where none of the audio worked and the meditation was kind of iffy on terms of the connection and quality, so it was kind of skipping frames. So we're giving it another shot. So welcome to the last meditation for this month's theme of ending our madness. Now, today will serve as the glue that kind of puts all the different pieces that we've been working on this month together and will be a cornerstone to life moving forward. I mean, it's really nothing other than discovering who you really are, discovering your truth, and coming back to terms with life as an effortless flow and experience. Now, the importance of what we're really going to cover today is, again, to kind of clarify and put everything together that we've been working on in terms of breaking away from our conditionings, recognizing the space within us, and truly detaching ourselves through these old habits and impulses and cycles of negative behavior, thus ending the madness and chaos for March, and hopefully for the rest of your life. Now, just to clarify as before, it's not that chaos and other people's nonsense and drama won't still happen, but in terms of how you respond and the opportunities for those things to happen around you will definitely drop. And the key here to remember is that life is what you make it in this sense. So if you really want to free yourself, liberate yourself from your own chaos, their own madness and suffering, you need to look within yourself. Now, I like to think of pleasures as filling up desire. You know, you get pleasure from satisfying a desire. And most people, that's where their happiness comes from. And if you look at happiness in this sense, you can see it as more of the kind of in between pain and pleasure. But it's not true happiness. In truth, happiness is those states when we just say, well, no, nothing's really wrong. You know, you're not overly excited, you just are, you're just peaceful, you're just calm. And that's the true happiness that we always strive for. But the key here is that it only comes from within us because we radiate it. And when we align ourselves with this emptiness, this space within us, it changes the way we not only see ourselves but experience life. So we're going to dive deep today. We're going to go beyond the surface layers and really explore our awareness, that which we call I or me. And in truth, it's effortless. And just like now, the only thing I'm going to ask you to do is simply sit down or lie down, just get in a comfortable position and close your eyes and simply let go. Just like you do for sleep, just sit here with that same type of love and just rest. Because all we're doing here is changing the biggest misconception of meditation. It's not a process of doing, it's a process of being. It's simply recognizing what you already do. And through that, you're able to kind of observe and see the space build within your own inner experience, between the thoughts, between the emotions, between the sensations, and what you'll recognize through your own, just again, pure being, that these thoughts don't cause you to kind of look and track them around, or the emotions to kind of look and pull you certain ways. You simply see the thought come and go. And when you begin to become disinterested and you dispassionately observe these thoughts, it's not even going to catch your eye. It's just going to keep going. And more and more you kind of align yourself with this truth of your own being, it's going to come less. You may have certain thoughts that keep you up at night that will just drop and go away once you see them. Now, we need to understand here, you're the teacher, you're the problem, you're the solution. You must question your own experience. That's what we're going to be doing here today. And through this questioning, we're going to bring our awareness back to recognizing this space that's always present within us, this emptiness, this dynamic yet full love, peace, and calm that is always kind of radiating from us. And in truth, that's what we are. So all I ask is that you get comfortable. Again, just if you need to lie down, if sitting up is uncomfortable for you, go ahead. Just don't fall asleep. You don't want to make that a habit, because the body will start to remember that, and when it will mess with your meditations in the future. So if you're going to lie down, just make sure that you're not falling asleep. And if you're sitting up, just make sure your back's not against anything, that you're just allowing yourself to simply comfortably sit. And from here, we want to close our eyes, and we'll take one deep inhale and exhale. Throughout the ringing of the bells, allow yourself to inhale with each bell tap, and exhale all of that negativity, the doubt, but what do I need to do today? Or what did I do yesterday? Just let it all go. With each Om, feel free to join, but allow yourself to drift and focus on the silence when the note has finished. See yourself like the ocean. The surface, the waves that crash upon the beach, the foam that rushes across the surface. It represents the surface layers of our own being. It represents the conditionings, the experiences in which we hold on to. It is the realm in which many of us live our lives, from birth to death. This surface layer is the external search, filling yourself up with pleasure and knowledge, books, and the material. The lowly satisfactions and desires of the body, and the emotions and thoughts, physical form. However, if you dive deep, look inward towards yourself, and question, who is it that is experiencing this life? Who am I? You will enter into an infinite well of exploration, potential, and opportunity. Opportunity to grow, to move beyond, to set down the chaos of suffering, to remove our conditionings, to silence the traumas that echo throughout our present, to eliminate all anxiety of future thought, and to remove the grip that our imagination has over us. Simply look at yourself. See yourself as a silent watcher, a silent observer. This is the first step to ending chaos, to ending the suffering. Why, some may ask? What about love? What about will? What about happiness? They mean nothing unless you question who is it that needs the love, that feels and receives such love? Who is it that craves the happiness? We must come to question who is it that experiences life, this I, this me, that we take for granted. In our waking state, our I is attached to a body. But where is this body in dream? Do you still not feel that sense of I, of me? And do you not effortlessly flow through your dream, no matter how nonsensical it may be? There are those that explore the dream world consciously, but even then, that sense of I is experienced as the same in the physical state. The witness to life, the witness to experience. The question I have for you is to really look at the most calming and relaxing and recharging sleeps. Where were you? It's not the fact that our sense of I falls away in the deep sleep. It's the sense that we are no longer fixated upon observing from a separate and individual viewpoint. We relax into emptiness and nothingness. And as we know in life, without this state of pure relaxation, of letting go of everything, we die. The body cannot live without this sleep. And in truth, it's because we must connect to that which what we truly are in order to maintain this illusion and dream that we call reality. It's where we get our vitality from. It's what we energize ourselves with. And in truth, we must understand that it's the most important thing in our lives, for without it, this physical world will not be. And only when you're ready does the world awake to you. Just like a play, the show will not go on if there is no audience to view it. We must even look at the fact that you choose when you wake up. As we've all had those moments of hitting snooze and going back to that which brings us the most calm and peace and relaxation. This empty space of pure being. In truth, we must understand this as us, as our true nature. for we set everything aside to reconnect. We go to sleep every night, not knowing if we'll wake up, but we lovingly embrace the slumber and relaxation of sleep. The purpose of this is to understand that life is the greatest teacher, for it is always showing you the lessons, but they are hidden in the subtleties of your pure being that are often overlooked. They are overlooked because we are born into conditioning, and this conditioning serves what many call the ego. You can see this as the lesser self, the bodily self, but you are the union of spirit and matter, tangible and intangible. You are an eternal being, temporary witnessing this physical world we call reality. Ever changing, ever growing. But there is something within you that has never changed. It's recognized the things you've learned and let go of, thought you knew and realized you didn't. It's lived through the suffering and the pleasures and the good, the bad, the failure, the success. But it's always gone on unchanging. What is it? Our sense of self, our sense of me has never changed. Only what we characterize and identify with it as. You need not do anything. Simply sit and allow yourself to watch the happenings of your inner space. We must come to recognize that our truth is our truth and it shapes reality. So you must escape the delusion, the illusion, the misconception and belief and assumption that you are a physical body, for you experience life without it. And you're at most peace when it's not even there. You are outside of time because moments of focus will send you fast forwarding through hours, days, weeks, or months even. You must come to question everything within our experience. And when we ask these questions, you need not look for an answer, for it will reveal itself. And through this recognition, you will realize that which is untrue. In all honesty, I cannot describe in words what we are. It's inexpressible. However, I can point you towards how to remove what is not you from your perception. And through this recognition of what is not you, you are only left with what is. Pure love, peace, calm, space. It's effortless. And when we taste these moments of freedom, we can see it's never truly left. You must see yourself like a shining, brilliant star, radiating love and calm and peace. But when you identify with the temporary, it covers up that light. You must see the trauma you hold on to, the emotions that control you, the thoughts that manipulate you. They do not serve you, they only serve their own pleasures. And the key to really tapping into this infinite well of space and emptiness is through a doorway of awareness, through seeing these habits and patterns for what they are and questioning them actively until they no longer bother you, until they no longer faze you, and until you are no longer interested in them. You must be willing to let go. You must be willing to let go of that which what you knew and thought to be true and enter into this realm of the unknown. Trust in these words. Simply be. Watch. See the thoughts, see the emotions, see the sensations. Patiently observe them. Do not be bothered if they are active. Do not be swayed by their traps of anxiety, of restlessness, of fear, of doubt. They are trying to distract you from moving away from them, from letting go of them. You are far beyond just a body. And when you come to see your own eternal nature, the lower sensations and emotion and thought, they lose their control. For truth is the buffer. Truth creates space between your pure being and the false. It is the first step of awakening, of enlightenment, to simply be aware as the observer itself. Be present for your own experience. Understand that as you sit, you see, you hear, you taste, you smell. Everything simultaneously. You are experiencing it. And when you're no longer interested in this world, you put all the sensation aside and marinate in yourself. We live in a world of opposites, duality. However, that which what we are is not applicable to such rules. It has no opposite, it simply is. And in truth, all duality resides within it. All possibility resides within it. All beings are it. Pure and effortless. We can see when we identify with the thought and emotion and physical sensation that it brings us to a realm of chaos. And many of you may say, but it's also brought me the good. But to what have your actions been serving? Your true self or that which what you believe yourself to be now? An illusory image, an idol. That one question easily crumbles and falls. The purpose of meditation is to end your constant doing and to come to know who you are through simply being consciously aware of your one role in life: to witness. One can ask the age-old question, can the seer be seen? You need not waste your time with such questions. Who is it that is experiencing life? Who are you underneath all of the lessons, the experiences, and the beliefs? What are you? Come to see yourself as beyond the temporary sensation. Come to know that you are not the emotions or thoughts that reside within you, the temporary happenings that come and go. Question that which never leaves you. Question that which goes unchanging. Observe it. Even to look at life and to experience your life from the understanding that you are not the body can liberate you. For when you no longer identify with the body, you come to see that it doesn't have as much of a control over you as you thought. Discipline, obedience, it doesn't matter the word. You must have a drive for truth. It cannot be instilled, you must desire it, you must want it. We are beings of desire, so set your aim high. And if you fall in love with this search, this quest for truth, it will set you free. That is certain, because when you desire, when you will, when you gather your power and direct it towards a goal, it is, and anything is, achievable. So what excuses and lies do your thoughts keep telling you? And why do you keep listening? What emotions does the body use to try to cripple you from stepping forward into this light? And why do you continue to let them bother you? These are honest questions you must ask yourself. It does nothing to just listen. You must question. And through your questioning, the delusions and false answers will crumble away and you will be left with nothing. And in that empty space, you will discover everything. You'll set aside all trauma and past and future. All conditionings will simply unravel and unfold, and you'll be left with this beautiful space within you. And you will come to see yourself as space itself. And at this point, no temporary things will bother you, because you will identify and understand and experience your life as this eternal being. And the key with this realm of emptiness, this doorway that our awareness can take us through, is to a life filled with trust, a deep, deep trust and knowing that things will be okay. even when they don't appear to be, things will be okay. You'll be able to recognize the lessons in the situations you used to dread and cry and see as failures. You will grow stronger. You will grow more powerful with your ability to rebuild, connect, to manifest, to unite, to love. All I do is offer the opportunity to let go, to come to see what is truth, and to recognize clearly that which is not true. You must be your own student. You must be your own teacher. You must be your own master. For that's all we are. No matter the will of another, you must want it yourself. Because believe me, I want you to wake up. But it is not a desire that I hold on to, for I know you will, as all of us will. And I trust. And as you experience, allow these moments of truth to build trust within you, to trust the process, to trust life again, for you are life. Your perception will dictate how your life goes. Because if you predetermine something, you will determine the outcome. That is the power we have to create, to manifest. And like the one in which we came, that is the power in which we were instilled and given. But this power can also be used as a tool for servitude to the lesser, as explored previously. We must rise above the desires, the impulses, the habits. And again, we do this through simply observing them and recognizing them as such. Patterns of behavior that have had time and a lot of investment to grow. But in truth, meditation is not about what you do. It's about what you don't do anymore. That is the beauty of being. To simply not run away with a thought. To simply not hold on to an emotion. To tell yourself this is temporary and see the release that you experience, the weightlessness you feel. Physically, the more you remove, the lighter and more effortless you flow and feel. That is the beauty of this inward search, this diving deep beyond the surface. Is for once you are beneath the surface, it no longer bothers you. You no longer feel the crisp air. You're purely submerged within truth and love and calm and peace. And no matter the event, this knowing will outweigh any type of tension or stress or chaos. That is the beauty of coming to understand your true being. And it is through what you already do, simply being aware, simply being, experiencing life. But as with all things, and especially meditation, the focus should always be upon the meditator itself, the experiencer of life itself, the witness that you are. So allow yourself to let go. enter this realm of being. Simply listen, simply watch. And realize you need not do, for you do this naturally. That is the actuality of pure being. Experiencing life as it unfolds. The more you stay with this, the more you hold on to this, in the sense not of action, but of value. The more you are appreciative of what you are, the more naturally it will flow. But you must surrender, lay down your arms of efforting, of doing. Because it does not matter what you do if you do not know who's doing it. It's as simple as that. And it's these questions we often overlook that leave us on the surface despite our efforts and years of searching. If you don't know who and what is living your life, how can you truly live it? Your awareness, you itself, is the doorway to truth. And when you no longer fix your attention towards the false, towards the temporary, the emptiness shall reveal to you a fullness that is indescribable. Yet it's so natural that you know it's never left. You've only imagined yourself to lose it. Again, as we come back, allow ourselves to take an inhale with each bell tap, and exhale fully. Letting go of any further tension, but also simply resting within ourselves and connecting with this effortless emptiness of pure being. And that concludes the meditation for today, everyone. Yeah, I mean, not much to say. I think that's one of the effects of this alignment, adjustment, this understanding that which what we are. It's beautiful. And, as the Buddha said, roughly paraphrasing here, if it's not more beautiful than the silence, then do not interfere. And that's really the place of being that this will bring you towards. Even when someone's chirping and and the key here is that nothing's going on. You're simply experiencing life. You're not entrapped within your own mind of thought and emotion. You're simply experiencing things without judging the experience, without getting in the way of interpretation by trying to figure out what someone's saying, but you're just listening. It's not running off in, imagination and thought and theoretical and hypothetical situations that never happen. It's simply seeing what happened for what it is and not attaching yourself to it. How's it going? And that's the power that you have. And those of you just joining, meditation's concluded, but it'll be up and posted in just a second, so be sure to rewatch, because this is the beginning to changing lives. This is how you turn off all the switches of suffering and pain and chaos. This is how we wake up to the drama and how we end it. It's how we escape and let go of the trauma. It's how we heal ourselves. And again, it's through this beautiful process of simply being, because meditation is not an act of doing, it's a relaxation. It's letting go. It's simply being. And through this process of kind of letting everything naturally happen, you can realign yourself with the truth that's always been present, but you overlook it because you're attached and identifying with things. So I really hope that this meditation can open doorways for you, because when we finally just rest and stop trying to do everything, you really enter the ground of being that we are. Just effortless stillness, emptiness, just experiencing. And the funny thing that I always have to say is, you are what you love. It's what you show affection for in your life that will determine it. And I study many different religions and spiritual text, but I think the Quran said it best. In the creation of the universe, there was some rules given to this reality. And in a sense, it was said that God said, if they serve you, punish them. Put them down this path of suffering. But if they worship me as the creator of all things, then reward them with truth and opportunity. And although I don't align with any religion, I've found that to be one of the most truthful interpretations of how life will flow for you when you recognize truth. Not only when you recognize truth, but when you live in it as it, when you assimilate that which what you experience during your meditations and awakenings. And again, it's that trust. When you come to realize firsthand through your own experience that everything is one, and it's not the sense that everything is one like, the real hippy dippy association of, oh, it's all love and peace, bro. It's really coming to understand that this entire universe in which we experience is consciousness. It's energy. It's not physical. It's not divisive. It's one thing. It's not even a thing. And again, when you sink deeper and deeper, you come to realize that you're not what you thought you were. You're not just a physical body. You're something different. And you'll experience that in various ways. Some of you may actually leave your body. That happens. So don't panic if it happens. Just watch yourself. Float around yourself for a little bit. There's also some of us that will full on, feel a separation occur. You can see it and interpret it, maybe like you see yourself and it shatters in glass. That's how one of mine was perceived. Countless others, you'll awaken and release this tension within you. Very akin to that feeling like when you're underwater and you're running out of breath and you're trying to get to the surface, and then the moment you get to the top, it's like, and within that same type of almost inhale and exhalation, you just let go of so much tension of these thoughts and identities that you held on to be true. And there's countless ways in that we experience and can literally perceive the changes. They physically have an effect on us. We need to come to terms with this. They physically change our bodies. We know this now more and more with Western science, with the studies on meditation. But in terms of spiritual awakening, when you increase your vibration through aligning with the truth, that's the only way you can do it. You can only increase yourself and grow and increase your energy or vibration through recognizing truth. Now, everything I've talked about before, I try to stray away from these types of things because they can overwhelm people. But at this point, I don't have patience, and we need to have an urgency as a society for this type of change because things are happening and we are running out of time to make this switch as a civilization. And it's taken me a year to fully kind of have the dust settle from my own awakenings, um, and to realize that it's an infinite process. You never truly make it. There's definitely some checkpoints, and some kind of markers or milestones, you could say, where there's definitely a huge switch with how life is perceived and experienced. But again, it all boils down to first really coming to understand yourself as this awareness, just this silent witness and observer. And tell yourself that. Like, the thing is, you dictate your reality. If you just listen to these words and kind of believe them, it's not going to do anything for you. Um, you know, those that actively question in an open sense can learn more from the words I say than just those who believe them. And that is because through your questioning, you'll come to see the truth of them on your own. You need not be convinced, you will experience it. But you must question openly, because remember, if you predetermine your life, it will determine it. That is your power as a creator. So, I hope you've had an excellent experience during this meditation, and I hope you have a great weekend. I'll catch you guys next weekend. Um, and I won't be revealing the theme yet, um, but we're going to start to transition just because this is a longer month. I try to really just keep it to 4 meditations per theme. So we're actually going to kind of carry over a little bit into April's. Um, but again, it's going to kind of serve itself as a transition. So it's going to be its own introduction. So the theme of ending your madness may have concluded, but we're going to take it and we're going to amp it up next week and really dive into the intangible, the real deep rooted spirituality, that a lot of us are deeply yearning for, but we don't know it yet. And that's the power of what we're going to be experiencing, is that you have the power to change your life. Um, you have the ability. And when you recognize that, I mean, really, it's limitless potential that you tap into. And no one can tell you what you can and cannot do. So, if this meditation was a distracting one for you, re listen and then question those distractions as they arise. Because this is where we really start to take a shift into the real itty gritty of spiritual awakening and enlightenment that each of us can wake up from and wake into. So, again, have a great weekend.